Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake DFS Podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I'm joined here by my two WiseTake guys, my WiseTake regulars. I got Matt Amon. You can find him on Twitter at MattAmon123. We're also joined, of course, Fuego Steve. You can find him on Twitter at Fuego_Steve. Fuego, good to see you, man. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
And we're doing okay. My Angels just hit back-to-back home runs, but then, of course, Fat Albert comes up and pops out to the first baseman.
Yeah.
So wait, are you Angels or Dodgers, or it doesn't matter?
I like both the Angels and the Dodgers. I know you're not supposed to be allowed to have two favorite teams, but I do. My teams, they never play each other when it matters. And
hey, that's the advantage of having two teams in the same city. You get two teams to root for. Some cities have zero, so you got that going for you.
I go to about 20 Angel games a year because it's closer to my house, but I kind of like the Dodgers a little bit better just because they're better run and, it's more electric at the games and I kind of like it a little bit better. But I probably only go to about 7 or 8 Dodger games a year, but I like them both and I root for both teams.
For me, it's just like it's Mets all the way. I'm not going to the Bronx to watch the Yankees. You know what I mean?
I know you wouldn't want to root for a winner.
It wouldn't be my style, man. I'm a Knicks, Jets, and Mets fan. It wouldn't be my style. Oh God. Before we get started here, I just wanted to. It's something that it was funny how I think Fuego can relate because he made a comment about it afterwards. But with Matt obviously has Mike Trout in his best lineup tonight, and Mike Trout hit a home run, and we saw the excitement. It was great. And then when he checked the score, what happened, Matt?
I was like, oh, yes. Well, Calhoun and Trout were on both of my best lineups, and they hit back-to-back, and I was so excited. Like, yes, I'm going to go check my contest, see how I'm doing. And I was like, I went down $10. How did this happen?
And then Fuego just goes, oh, yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, well, that's what you get when, the guy is on your best team is 64% owned, and it just, doesn't even matter. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that'll teach me to play the chalk.
All right, guys, we got a lot of games. Let's get to it. We got Steven Strasburg of the Washington Nationals visiting Chad Cole of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of really elite pitching options to choose from, and they're all kind of in great spots and all kind of similar. And Strasburg is one of those that I have a lot of interest in. He's in a great spot. It's a great ballpark for pitching. Pittsburgh is terrible. They're one of the worst offenses in the league. The only problem is they don't strike out a whole lot, so that's a downside. But we know Strasburg does come with some K upside kind of built in, can kind of strike out anybody when he's going right. He hasn't been, insanely great this year, but he's been fairly solid. On the other side, we can't use Chad Cool. Washington's too good, too potent, and also he's really bad against lefties. And the Nationals have a couple good lefties. So I do have some interest in the Nationals as a stack. But like I said, I don't like stacking people in this ballpark. It's not great. And I think there's some better spots. But like I said, Murphy and Harper are in great spots.
Okay. What you got, Fuego?
Sorry, my boy McJester. He's in first place in the queue. He's in first, third, and fifth right now, so I'm hoping he gets it.
Definitely.
So, I don't excuse me. I'm not thrilled with the Pirates bats obviously going against Strasburg. Let me say that right now. I like Strasburg going against the Pirates bats. And Washington, they haven't been getting it done for me, or just in general. And they have a 4.5 implied run total, which is not, it's kind of in the middle tomorrow. We have a lot of teams that are under 4 because we got some good pitching on the slate, but we have a lot of teams closer to 5 and a couple over 5. So I'm not sure I'm going to be stacking up the Nats either. That's probably where I'm at. As for Chad Cole, he's not great. So, maybe I'll have a mini stack with the Nats, and I like to do that. But, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think obviously Strasburg is Strasburg. Seriously high K rate. He's having a great year. The Pirates are not good offensively. They don't really have much power. This ballpark is obviously favorable for pitchers. And the problem is Pirates don't strike out all that much all the time. They can. We've seen them do it before, but they don't usually. Typically, they're not a high strikeout team. So Strasburg's certainly a strong option regardless. You're just going to have some decisions you have to make. As far as the Washington bats, though, I have a little bit more interest. I think they will go overlooked because of the ballpark, but it looks like it's going to be pretty warm there. I don't think Chad Cole is very good. And I have a lot of confidence in the Washington lefties. So I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like super high strung on them, but I think they could be a little sneaky stack given a 4.5 run projection in this park. Anything to add, guys? Should we move on?
Move on.
All right, we got Wade Miley, the lefty from Fuego's Baltimore Orioles, visiting Matt Boyd, the other southpaw from the Detroit Tigers. Go ahead, Matt. What you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not a Wade Miley believer. I don't believe that his good start this year is real. I don't think he's very good. And also, he's really been struggling with the walks, over a 14% walk rate so far this season. And so I just feel like it's bound to blow up on him eventually. And I think this is as good a spot as any for it to happen. We know Detroit is very right-handed, and Miley struggles with righties. And it seems like Detroit's kind of getting going a little bit. They got JD Martinez back, so that should help them. On the other side, Matt Boyd's a little bit of the same story. He hasn't been as good as Miley this year, but he also has a big walk rate. So I think this is an interesting game that could go overlooked, but I love to stack against pitchers that walk a lot of guys, and both of these teams are very reasonably priced also. A couple of the stacks later on that I think most people are going to want to go to that are going to be the chalky stacks are more expensive, and I kind of like this game because they're cheap and they'll allow you to pay up at pitching. And with so much good pitching on the slate, I think that's something you're going to want to do.
Okay, for sure. What you got, Fuego? What do you think about this game in your Baltimore Orioles?
Well, I'm probably a little higher on Detroit, to be honest with you. I like Kinsler. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. I'm going to attack Miley until he cracks. And because the day I don't is going to be the day that he gives up 7 runs in 3 innings. So I'm going to go after him again with the Detroit bats, all the righties. Detroit's mostly right-handed anyway, I think. So I'm going to load up on Detroit and hope this is the game that Miley finally does what he usually does against righties, and that's not pitch well.
Yeah. With you.
Yeah.
I'm
as far as the Orioles, I'm not in love with them. They have a pretty low implied run total, but they're my boys, so I'll play them a little.
Yeah, there it is. There's boys. I'm with you guys. I don't like the pitching in this game, but I like the bats. I think Matt Boyd is not a guy that I want to play. I could see him shutting down Baltimore simply because Baltimore does strike out a lot, and Boyd, he could sort of get it done. The problem is, like you guys said, the walk. So I'm not going there. And at the same time, if he's going to walk guys, he ain't going to be in there that long. So, yeah, I think the bats on both sides here make plenty of sense. I'm with you. I'm not a believer in Miley. I'm just waiting for the teams to bust him. And I know the Tigers aren't what they used to be, but at one time they were pretty good lefty mashers. So it's going to be a warm day. I'm with you, man. I like the bats on both sides for sure.
I'm going to have to do some research and to see, because if there's indications that this is the game, this could be it, because I don't think you're going to get high ownership.
Yeah, I think you're right. With the game that's coming up soon, I think you're right, Fuego. Dallas Keuchel, the lefty from the Houston Astros, visiting Tom Kohler of the Miami Marlins. Start us off, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I love Dallas Keuchel. He's been amazing this year. I think his ground ball rate's like 62%, which is insanely high, and he's been striking people out way more than last year. He gets a nice park upgrade in the Marlins Park, which is a good pitcher's park. He faces a pitcher, usually he's in the American League, so he gets a nice upgrade there. The Marlins, aren't a great offense, and they strike out a fair amount. So I think Dallas is the top option. I think it's close between him and Strasburg, but Dallas is my favorite. We're not playing Tom Kohler. Houston's too good. They haven't been striking out. So I would have some interest in the Houston bats, but in this park with a lot of other better spots to go, I would probably go elsewhere. But Kohler does struggle with lefties, so if you wanted a Reddick or a McCann, or if Beltran's in the lineup, those would all be fine.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Go ahead, Fuego. What you got?
I'm not sure I would, quote, probably go elsewhere, unquote. What's that beep? I love playing the Houston Bats. They have a 4.9 implied run total, which is a lot of teams at this point, it looks like, have a 4.9. A couple teams a little bit more, but I would fire them up for sure against Kohler. Even the righties, if they're in there, like Correa and things like that, Gurriel and Altuve, all of them I think are righties anyway. But I would definitely play some of them. I'm not too interested in Miami bats at all. Keuchel, I would be interested for sure. Is he the most expensive?
On DraftKings, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, across the board.
I'm having problems. I'm clicking on pitchers on Fantasy Labs, and it's still showing me batters. And I don't like saying bad things about Fantasy Labs, but what's up? It's like not changing. That's weird. But anyway, so yeah, I'm Houston bats, Houston pitcher, and no buy from Miami.
Yeah, I'm with you guys 100%. I don't like any Miami bats here. I like Keuchel. I think Keuchel's in a similar situation as Strasburg, but maybe a slightly better one, as I think Miami does strike out a little bit more than Pittsburgh, and you're still in what's known as a pitcher's park. So yeah, I like Keuchel. Miami can get pretty right-handed, but still, it's Dallas Keuchel is pitching well, and he's got a high ground ball rate, so that always makes him one of the safer options. But yeah, I'm with you guys, man. I don't like Kohler. Load up on the Houston Astros for sure, but Keuchel and Strauss is going to be a close one. Here we go. We got Bronson Arroyo of the Cincinnati Reds visiting John Lackey of the Chicago Cubs. Matt, tell us about this game.
Yeah, well, I think the Cubs are going to be the chalk for sure tomorrow. It's supposed to be warm at Wrigley. It looks like the wind's going to be blowing out, and we know how that park plays when the wind is blowing out, and it looks like it'll be significant, 17 miles an hour. And then, of course, we know Bronson Arroyo is really, really bad at baseball. So the Cubs will be the chalk tomorrow, I think. And then, Lackey on the other side is at least somewhat interesting. He pitched awesome in his last start at Coors. But I don't think I'm going to go there because Cincinnati's been pretty good. They don't strike out a whole lot, and they beat him up earlier this year already. So with the wind blowing out in Wrigley, I don't think I'm going to have any interest in Lackey. And I think the Reds could be sneaky here, and maybe people will look and say, well, Lackey was really good last time out, and I think the Reds could get to him, and this could be kind of a shootout. So all the bats in this game for me.
Okay, what you got, Fuego? What do you think?
I don't think they're going to be as chalky as you think they're going to be. Obviously we don't, like you said, the wind is projected to blow out. We don't have run totals yet, which they usually wait till the day of. We got a big slate. I think it's going to be spread around. I don't think, unless it's a huge run total, that they're going to be all that chalky. And for I guess I kind of like Lackey a little bit more than you do. I guess that would be it. But I don't love him, let's put it that way. But you got two in DraftKings sometimes. So, all the time. So, if you want to save a little money off the top tier guys, I could see rolling him out against the Reds.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the run total will be in this game? Because I think with what I'm seeing right now and the pitchers in this game, I think it'll be 10, and I think the Cubs will be at around 6.
That high, huh?
5
well,
points.
If it's
5,
6,
they'll be the highest.
They are going to be talking at 6.
Yeah. It's going to be high. Anytime that wind's blowing out, and now you take Bronson Arroyo, who people love stacking against, even though he hasn't been all that terrible. People love stacking against him. The popular option is almost always against Bronson Arroyo. And if that wind is blowing out, which as of right now, I'm seeing it blow out, we won't know till the morning for sure. But if it's blowing out, then yes, I think the total is going to be kind of high.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we'll see. I still think it's gonna be spread out more than you think it is.
Well, yeah, it's there's tons of good spots. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to be 30%, but I think they'll be the most high on.
Yeah, this is a situation where chalky is going to be like what 12%. you know what I mean?
That is the one. That is the one good thing about the large slates. I'm not a fan of all these games, but that is the one good thing. You don't have to worry. 9 times out of 10, you don't have to worry about ownership. If there's even with the Coors game on the big, I think people are starting to fade it a little more.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I love the Reds bats in this game. I think regardless of whether the Cubs are popular or not, I don't think the Reds are going to be too popular. So yeah, I see merit in Lackey, especially on DK. If the wind's blowing out, I probably won't do it. The Reds aren't striking out as much as they did last year, and they have a lot of power. That's one thing they do have. Cozart, Votto, obviously Votto's in a great spot. Duval hits righties really well. So I definitely think even Suarez can hit home. Shabba, I mean, you can go on and on. All these guys can pretty much hit home runs, and the guys that can't can still bases. So I definitely like the Reds offense, and I'm up in the air with the Cubs. I want to like them, but if they're going to be one of the chalkier options, I just don't see why to go there on a large slate. Okay, we got Jared Eichhoff with the Philadelphia Phillies visiting Yu Darvish of the Texas Rangers. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, you got to like you in this spot. And if it was a different slate and these other pitchers weren't on here, he would be a great, great option. I think he's third for me behind these other two guys, but I don't have any real good reasons why. I just kind of like these other guys better. But he's totally fine, and Philly's not good, and he strikes him out, so he's fine. I just in this ballpark, and it's going to be really hot. I think he's my third favorite. I do like Texas a lot in this spot. The bats, I don't think Eichhoff is very good. He hasn't been striking people out. He struggles with lefties. And we know Texas has some good lefties. So, I think I like the Texas bats here, and their stack is certainly in play for me. Joey Gallo and Ruben Odor and Nomar Mazara and Shin Chu. I would wonder if he's going to be in the lineup. There's a little day-to-day next to him. It says he's not expected to land on the disabled list, and we'll see for tomorrow. Anyways, I like Texas in the spot.
Okay, what you got, Fuego?
I agree. Absolutely like Texas. Depending on the total, I think I may like them better than the Cubs. We'll see. But they have a projected run total of 5. I love, I love stacking up the Texas, and for some reason I like stacking them different ways because I never love Chu leading off, but sometimes I feel like you have to have him in there. And like I'll go all the way down to Joey Gallo, who bats 7th sometimes. So there's all kinds of different ways you can stack them up. I like them. They're a little West Coast, so I always like the Texas bats, and Eichhoff does not scare me at all. And at the reverse of Detroit, they do have a lot of lefties. Mazara, I always love. Mazara is never, ever, ever priced up, on either site, really. Let's see. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight games Mazara has a hit. And he's I might have to give him a little Dawn Watch look here.
There we go.
Yeah, and obviously I like Darvish. I don't like any of the batters against him, except your boy. Maybe it's Tommy Joseph Day.
It may be, man. He only hits the elite, but listen, I only vouch for him against NL East elite. But I'm with you guys, man. I like Darvish. I like Darvish a lot, but I think it's I always have a thing for Darvish, man. I he's done good for me in the past, so I've always had a little extra. Even though don't get me wrong, he's probably burned me more than any of the other 2 top pitchers we have on the slate. But I like him a little bit against the Phillies. You guys are right. The Phillies, they got a decent offense. They got a lot of lefties. I'm with you on the Texas backs. Love the Texas backs. I think Eichhoff is decent, but I think he's got a little ways to go on his craft, and he struggles against lefties. Bottom line.
I want to say it's a dramatic split between righties and lefties. I mean, for his career, 350 WOBA to lefties, 254 to righties. So, I mean, really dramatic.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys 100%. I think that he's got things he has to work on. I think he can be good one day. I just don't think he's there just yet. And Texas ain't the team, man. If you have a righty going into Texas, you better be on your stuff because those guys can really mash. All right, we got Kyle Freeland, the lefty from the Colorado Rockies, visiting Phil Hughes, everybody's favorite pitcher from the Minnesota Twins. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I think, the weather kind of looks really good everywhere tomorrow, except for this spot is the only spot that may have a little trouble. It looks like at this point it'll probably play, but it's at least something to keep an eye on. As far as the actual game goes, I actually think Kyle Freeland is a pretty decent pitcher. He's not a pitcher we're going to use because his strikeout rate isn't good enough, but he does keep the ball on the ground. I mean, really extreme ground ball. I don't have the rate in front of me, but just looking from the game logs, it's like 17 ground balls, 15, 13, like every single one. So I don't think I'm super excited about Minnesota, but Miguel Sano has been crushing the ball, so I don't mind him. On the other side, we know Phil Hughes is terrible, really bad at baseball, and he's an extreme fly ball pitcher. So if this game was in Coors, I would love the Rockies. I don't love stacking the Rockies away from Coors, but against a pitcher like Phil Hughes, it's fine. I mean, Nolan Arenado and Blackmon and Desmond and Reynolds and Cargo are all in great spots.
Okay, what you got, Fuego? What you think?
I like Minnesota a lot more than Matt again here. They have a bunch of righties. Freeland's a lefty. I like the Colorado bats here too. I like bats both in this game. What's the run totals here? We got 4.7 and 4.9. 4.7 for Rockies, 4.9 for Twins. Both on the higher end. Anytime, when I look at implied run totals, I'm looking for 4.5 and above. That's what I'm looking for personally. I don't know what the rule is, but that's what I look for. So in my mind, anything above that, you can shoot for. And so, this will be kind of people don't play Rockies very much outside of Coors as much as they should, especially the good players. And I could see having some pieces of both of these teams for sure. And yeah, I don't want any part of either pitcher.
Yeah, man. I actually like the Rockies side a little bit here against Hughes. I like playing the Rockies better when they're outside of Coors, even though I know that most of the time it's like, they're not very good and they kind of get exposed. Nobody really plays them outside of Coors because I think everybody kind of knows that they're not really that great of a team. So when you get a chance to take them in a pitcher's ballpark against Phil Hughes, I think it's worth a shot, especially as Fuego said with a 4.7 Vegas run projection. So yeah, I like the Twins bat as well just because they've been hot. Matt, I agree with you in the aspect I don't like picking on Freeland all that much outside of Coors. Like I'm not crazy about it. But I certainly see the merit. This game's got a high total overall. I mean, both of these teams are projected pretty high, and it's the only game with bad weather. So maybe people just avoid this game altogether because it's like, we got all these games with great weather. Why am I gonna mess with this one? And this should be a lot of runs here. So yeah, I think it's interesting for sure.
By the way, according to the Fantasy Labs, when it gives you their pro trends that they like, it says teams projected above 4.7 they like. So I'm a little bit lower than them, I guess. So maybe that's 4.7 is what you're looking at. But either way, they hit this. They both hit 4.7.
Yeah, 4.7 and 4.9, man. I like the bats here for sure. For sure. All right, let's move on. All right, Eduardo Rodriguez, the lefty from the Boston Red Sox, visiting my favorite pitcher, Lance Lynn of the St. Louis Cardinals. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm gonna like a lot of stacks tomorrow where everyone's expensive, so you're gonna need some cheap pitchers, and we kind of haven't touched on any of them that we like so far. I think there are a few here on the back end of the slate, and I think Eduardo Rodriguez is interesting here because he gets a nice league upgrade going into the National League when he faces the Cardinals, and then also the Cardinals have been pretty bad against lefties this year. Bottom.
Did you say you called Goldschmidt?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, did you just hit home run?
Yeah, he did.
Ooh, 3 for 3 in the dong.
3 on the dong watch. Fuego.
Wow.
We got to step it up tonight, Fuego. We can't let it happen 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, I already concede tonight then.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all right. Anyways, I was just in my spiel about why I like Eduardo Rodriguez here. He strikes people out at a decent clip, and St. Louis is bad against lefties. So that's why I like him. Can't play Lance Lynn. Boston doesn't strike out, and they've been swinging the bats pretty well. But I don't think I'm on any sort of stack here. And the Boston bats are a little bit too expensive for me to want to use also. So I think it's kind of Rodriguez for me in this game, and that's it.
Okay. What you got, Fuego?
Yeah, I've been playing Rodriguez, and he's done me pretty well. He is the 3rd highest K per 9. 4th highest on the slate, above Greinke, above Lackey, above Keuchel, actually. So he's in play for me, and he's 7,800 on FanDuel, which is a good price. However, I like St. Louis bats. I always like St. Louis bats. So that's my conundrum I'm running into. If I like the bats, then I can't like Rodriguez unless I'm doing a few lineups, and then I can put a couple of each. But neither team is exciting me like some of these other games. So I'm maybe a couple St. Louis one-offs, maybe some Boston one-offs, Mookie Betts, obviously. And I am not high on Lance Lynn. I mean,
No,
nah.
there's
I mean,
no,
he's
there's
had
no
some
need.
good outings. He's had some good outings. I don't know.
No,
Like,
you're right. You're right. The problem is the Red Sox don't really strike out. So Lynn is okay. Like he's got, he can, but the problem is the matchup, right? It's the Red
right.
Sox that they don't really strike out. So the question is, even if he has the safety there, assuming the Red Sox are struggling, he still doesn't have the ceiling that I know that Fuego is always looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, hey, that's a great point. That's a great point. And you hit it on the head.
They took Goldschmidt's home run away. They said it's only a double now.
oh,
I saw it was under review.
And I just tweeted you how I went 3 for 3. Now I look like a
Oh, quick! Delete.
No, I love how
delete the tweet before people start seeing it.
But Matt, I want you to understand. I want you to see here how positive of a person that our friend Fuego is. He tells you, "Oh, he hit the home run," but he doesn't bother to tell you it's under review.
As I was saying it, honestly, I read it as it was already reviewed, and then I guess not.
It's just like, yeah, let him think he has a home run, man. He'll feel good for a little
That would have been messed up if I did it on purpose.
But with that said, Fuego, you made a great point about Eduardo. Matt, you too. He's having a decent year, man. I don't know if I want him against these Cardinals because the Cardinals historically struggle against lefties, but these guys are a little different. Tommy Pham, Gyorko, Diaz, these guys can all hit lefties decently, even Grichuk. So I'm not dying to play the Cardinals, but I certainly see the merit. And on the other side with the Red Sox, it's just a matter of are they going to hit the ball hard or not? Because some nights, they don't strike out, but some nights they don't hit it all that hard. So I think I don't want either pitcher, but I think that both bats are actually in play. As scary as it may seem, considering neither of these two teams have been really getting it done this year. But Gyorko has been hot. All right, we got CC Sabathia of the New York Yankees visiting Jason Hamill of the Kansas City Royals. Pretty high total here, Matt. What do you think?
Yeah, well, the total's high because the pitchers are terrible. You can't play either of these pitchers. They stink. But, CC's really bad. But I'm not going to stack up Kansas City here because they're the worst offense in the league. And it's a good pitcher's park. But if you wanted to throw in Kane or Salvi or somebody, Soler, is gotten healthy and he hit a bomb the other day. So if you wanted to go there, that would be fine. The Yankees are pretty interesting here. Hamill is terrible. He has been walking a ton of people. He's been giving up a ton of hard contact. And, maybe the people will stay away from the Yankees here because of the ballpark, and they've just been mashing the ball. So, if the Yankees are going to be really low owned, this might be a decent spot to jump on board the Yankees bats. So I definitely have some interest in them.
Okay. What do you think, Fuego?
I think that these games need to end so my boy wins a shitload of money in this qualifier seat. And I'm not teaching him because I'm sure no one watches this that cares, and I'm sure he doesn't watch it, but he's leading the Grand Salami, the enormous rally. He's like 10th in the squeeze. He's leading the qualifier. Dang.
It's time to get him on the show. It's time to get him on the WiseTake.
I asked him. He's thinking about it. So, yeah, it's in the. I'm trying. Which game are we on again?
Yankees and Royals.
Yeah, Yankees and Royals. I definitely like Yankee bats. 4.9 implied run total. They're up in that near 5 range, like 4 or 5 other. There's a lot of teams up right near there. This is. I think ownership's going to be good tomorrow. Anyway, love the Yankees. Kind of like the Royals at 4.7. Let's see. I like Gardner, Sanchez, and Kansas City. I wouldn't say I love, but I like some of them. If you're going to do like a mini stack, maybe Lorenzo Cain's always cheap. Mike Moustakas, maybe do a 2-3 mini stack. And neither pitcher. Please don't play either of these. I don't think either pitcher is really in play.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one, Fuego. I'm not interested in either pitcher. Yeah, the Royals they're pretty bad offense. They're in a good park, but it's still like their pricing is even off. Like the only guys you would want to play, at least on FanDuel, Lorenzo Cain is 3.6, Perez is 3.4. Yeah, they're in good spots, but in this ballpark, it's like
boom, Tomas home run.
Yeah. I just got the notification of that. Like Maldonado went deep too for the Angels.
I was just coming out of my mouth. Are you sure that's not as exciting as Martin Maldonado going deep?
But it knocked McJester out of first. Damn it.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh.
But hey, it kicked me up. So hey, he's won quite a bit of money the past few months.
Yeah, I'm sure. He can handle it. I think he's all right. But yeah, I don't like the pitchers. I like the hitters both sides. I like the hitters here. I think that people aren't going to want to pay 3.4 for Salvador Perez and 3.6 for Kane. So I think they're interesting. As of right now, it looks like the wind could be blowing out to left, which could help some of these right-handed batters. But I like Perez and I like Kane for sure. And I like all the Yankees because I don't think Hamill's any good. I never really thought he was that good ever. So yeah. All right, my New York Mets and Tommy Malone, the newest New York Met, yay, against Zach Greinke of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Go ahead, Matt.
You aren't excited about Tommy Malone on the Mets?
I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic.
Anyways, well, the Cubs might not be that chalky because everyone just might run to Arizona because this is a great spot for the Arizona bats. And you just said Tomas hit a home run tonight, so it's a great spot for him to hit one again tomorrow. And Goldie might get his tomorrow if he didn't get it tonight. And Chris Owings has been mashing lefties. So, yeah, I love the Diamondbacks bats in this game. Greinke, on the other hand, has been really, really sensational this season after not being great last year. He's in that same price range with Darvish and Dallas and Strasburg. So, you probably have to consider him. I think against this lefty-heavy Met team, I probably will look to the top two, Strasburg and Dallas. But he is, certainly in play.
Yeah, go ahead, Fuego.
What is happening?
Well, right?
All right. There you go.
Nice. I definitely
scared the crap out. I was like zoned out. And then I was like, what is happening right now?
It came from my Fangraphs page and just started playing.
I was like, stay calm. You got this under control. I was like, what is going on?
Close all the tabs. Close all of them.
That's right.
Oh, my bad, Fuego. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I love Arizona bats. I play them all the time, especially at home. There's no reason I won't be playing them against Malone. Hey, whatever happened to Chris Herman? How come he's never in the lineup anymore? The catch.
I just don't think they have anywhere to put him. You know what I mean? Because I think he's a really bad catcher, so they can't play him at catcher because his defense is so bad.
Mathis just hit a 2-run shot, by the way.
Mathis did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just ironic.
That's what I was just talking about.
Yeah, you're just talking about.
Yeah, I think they really like Mathis's defense, even though he's not a great hitter, and that's why I think Herman. But I bet you he gets in there more since Pollock is hurt. I bet you he'll get some more starts against righties.
Yeah, because they've been putting him out in the outfield a bunch of times.
Yeah, they just can't find a spot for him.
Yeah, so I like playing Mathis too, but definitely all the Arizona guys. Maybe a couple of the Mets. Maybe a mini stack. I don't think I'm going to be stacking them up. They have a 3.9 against Greinke, so there's no reason I'm going to play them. And Greinke, it's hard for me to tell if I'm going to go him, Strasburg, Darvish. In FanDuel, we only need one of them. So I'm going to do some more research. All of them are in play, I think. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Even on DraftKings, I worked up a lineup before we came on the show with two of the high-priced pitchers, and it works out. So, if you're into Greinke, the problem is it's at home, and the Mets aren't horrible. So I think there's probably one of the other big boys I'd rather go to, but we'll see. I'm sorry I can't give a firm answer on that one.
No. I'm kind of on the boat too. On from a game theory perspective, I think Greinke's going to be less owned actually than because of the ballpark, because of the fact that he plays there, and the fact that the Mets have a lot of lefties, and Yada yada yada. But from a game theory perspective, I think he'll be less owned than like a Strasburg or even a Keuchel. But so I think that makes him interesting. The problem here is that if you look at a rolling 12 of his numbers, they're kind of skewed because last year at home he kind of got bombed, especially the lefties. He kind of got beat up. This year he's been pretty dominant at home. So I think the numbers might be a little skewed. So I don't know which way to go because he's been great this year, but last year, I mean, I don't think that was nothing. Last year he got beat up a little bit at home. So I'm on the fence too here, man. Like I think from a game theory perspective, Greinke's in it. I'm not putting Greinke in cash. I don't think he's nearly as safe as some of those other options, but not in this park. But yeah, I'm on the fence, man. I'm with you. It's tough. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we all like the Arizona Diamondbacks bats. It's just a matter of the Greinke and the Mets bats. I think that's the holdup here. But yeah, I think Greinke from a game theory perspective in tournaments, sure. I think it makes sense, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And that's why I think, we have these high price guys that we have 3 of them, like say on FanDuel. Let me sort it again here. We got 10.9 for Keuchel, 10.6 for Darvish, 10.4 for Strasburg, and 10.3 for Greinke. So I think you can only pick one on FanDuel. So naturally, people I don't think any one of these stands out to people who are going to be like, oh, we got to go Keuchel, we got to go Greinke, So I think, you're going to get whoever you want for decent ownership.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot all about Darvish, man. There's so many options. But I just, even like, and you're right. Like, you're not going to have to really worry about ownership. It's so spread out. But Greinke is probably going to be, even considering, probably still the least owned at all of them, right? Or maybe not. Maybe because today Godley did well.
He'll be the least owned.
You think so? I mean, I just figure because the park and the fact that the Mets do have a decent amount of powerful lefties, right?
And like, even upon first glance, I'm not sure I'm going to go there. So yeah, I agree.
Right, okay. All right. So that'll be interesting. You're going to have to tweet at us, at Fuego and Matt over there to find out what they're going to tournament options. Wow, now they're going off on the Mets. Delasco just hit a home run. Woo!
Who hit a home run?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Descalso. I said Delasco.
Oh, Descalso like Delasco.
It's like Delasco.
He's like the one Arizona bat I don't have in my lineup. It's a pinch hit. That's why.
I was going to say, did he even start today?
No.
There you go.
That would be the reason why.
All right. So the Mets bullpen is getting tagged right. So I think these Diamondbacks, you know what? Fuego, you were right. The Cubs aren't going to be the chalk. Not that the chalk's going to be that bad anyway on the slate, but I think you're right. I think the Diamondbacks are going to be where everybody goes. They're going nuts right now. Derek Holland, the lefty from the Chicago White Sox, against Matt Amons, J.C. Ramirez of Matt Amons, Los Angeles Angels
of Anaheim.
Yes. Fuego with the backups. Fuego with the backups. I'm liking it, man. Getting in on the action. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, it's Mike Trout bobblehead night. I want to first point that out. We went to the game the other night. My little guy said, "Hey, it's Mike Trout bobblehead night. We gotta go." So I bought tickets. We're going tomorrow night, so I will be in attendance. I love J.C. Ramirez in this spot. He was really chalky last time. He let everybody down against Detroit. But the White Sox are not the Tigers. They're not very good. They're like worst or second worst in like every category against righties. So I love J.C. Ramirez. It's going to be cold again tomorrow night here, and the marine layer will be in full effect, as I like to say. And then on the other side, Derek Holland, I think, is interesting. He's been decent this year. He was the same chalky the last time he started, and he got bombed by Minnesota. I don't know if the Angels can do the same thing, but the Angels are right-handed, and they don't strike out a lot, so I think I have a little less interest in Holland than Ramirez. On the other side, as I said, it is Trout bobblehead night, so if you believe in narratives, he's good at baseball. And he'll
need a narrative? Does Mike Trout need narratives?
And he has, now with the home run side, he has home runs in 4 straight games, so he's good.
Well, there's the narrative right there. He's gone for 5 in a row.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Narrative plus narrative equals X times narrative.
That's right. And he'll be he won't be chalky tomorrow night at all because it's a big slate and blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, Fuego.
Sorry to catch up, but no, I mean, I was just messing around because Trout is so awesome. I don't think he needs any extra. But Ramirez, I completely agree. He's the number 1 pitcher in my model. Going against the White Sox. What Weather's supposed to be cool, I think, as well.
Yep.
And I would fire him up for sure. You're going to get him at lower ownership than the big boys, at least on FanDuel. I think he's probably going to be popular again on DraftKings. He's only 6.6, right?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, jeez. I don't know how do you make a lineup without him tomorrow? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to do. I was just going to put one of the expensive studs and him in every lineup.
Yeah, I completely agree. You pop him, one of the guys at 10,000, and you're good to go. So there's your pitchers right there. You can even get him with the Texas Arizona stack with Strasburg. Ooh.
Yeah.
And for the batters, I'm not loving. What's the total in this game? 4.3 for the Angels, 3.3 for the Sox. So 3.3 definitely Ramirez, and Angels maybe Trout, maybe Valbuena. I don't know. No, he's probably not going to play. Maybe Calhoun, but I wouldn't have any stacks.
Yeah, it stinks because I really think Darren Holland is just. I know he has had a decent quote unquote year for him. I'm waiting for this dude to get rocked. He is not good. I'm not. I listen. I played him once or twice this year because I had to because we've had some slates where desperate, it was desperate times. But this guy's terrible, and it's just unfortunate that he's gonna be wasted against your Angels, Matt. Because I would love to stack against this dude, man.
That's all right. That's all right. He'll have another decent game, and then the next time he'll face someone that's good, and then we can just jump all over that team.
It makes me so mad when a pitcher like him does well. I don't want to be a hater, man, but it really does, man. It makes me so mad to see a pitcher like him do well. But I would like your Angels. Obviously, I like Trout, and then your usual suspects. But I like Ramirez too, man. I think he's on Fuego nailed it. He's going to be super popular on DraftKings, but there's a reason. He's super cheap, and and he's probably in the best spot for that price range for sure, in one of the best ballparks. We'll have the Marine Lair thing going on there. So yeah.
And I'll be there.
And Matt will be there, so we
have to. I'll be trying to. I'm going to be sitting in the right field bleachers tomorrow night. I got tickets in the first row, so I'll be trying to, force those balls back into the field. I will use the force to keep them out of the stands. There
you go. I'm with it. All right, we got Jimmy Nelson of the Milwaukee Brewers visiting Clayton Richard, the lefty from the San Diego Padres. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, if for some reason you don't like J.C. Ramirez, I think this game could provide you, another interesting second pitcher, the really cheap guys. Jimmy Nelson's, normally not very good. He has a walk problem, but he has shown that he can do it. He's shown some upside. He's had 3 good games this year mixed in with 3 bad games, and we know San Diego stinks and they strike out a lot. It's a great park for pitchers. Same thing as Angel Stadium. It'll be cold there as well. And then on the other side, Clayton Richard, extreme ground ball pitcher facing a Brewers team that strikes out, a million. He also has a bit of a walk problem, and he's also not very good, but he's just, ridiculously cheap. So I think he's also in play. And then, I never stack up teams on a big slate in San Diego, so I don't think I'm going to start here.
Yeah, with you. Go ahead, Fuego.
No real interest in either team. Both are under 4. We've been talking about all these that are close to 5, so no interest in either batters on either side. And I probably have a little interest in both pitchers, especially on DraftKings. I'm gonna, and Matt, you'll be proud. I'm gonna start talking a little more about the pitchers on DraftKings. So
yeah.
Clayton Richards only 5,900. I could see it. And same with Nelson. Nelson's only 7.6 against San Diego. I could see that even a little bit more. So, but to be honest with you, neither pitcher nor hitters on either team really excite me.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think on DraftKings, obviously, these guys are in your conversation. On FanDuel, I don't think you at all have to go here. On FanDuel, they're both more, not Clayton, but Jimmy Nelson's more expensive than J.C. Ramirez. So I don't think there's a need to go on FanDuel down here. But if you're playing on DraftKings, then you're going to have to take a look at this game, long and hard, because Clayton Richard, he does have, he can get it done. The Brewers, obviously, in this ballpark, they're a hot or cold team. They strike out a lot. So Padres too, one of the weakest offenses in the league. They strike out a lot. So even though the pitchers might not have the upside you're looking for, the lineups may provide them with that upside. So you may have to consider these guys. And I don't like the bats either. One off here or there if you want, but I don't think you have to go there. Andrew Triggs of the Oakland Athletics visiting Chase DeYoung of the Seattle Mariners. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, no pitchers for me in this game. Triggs, I think Triggs is a decent pitcher, but I don't pick on Seattle, especially with righties, as they just don't strike out at all, second least in the league against righties. So no Triggs, and then DeJong just isn't good, so no DeJong. I do have interest in the bats here, and I think if I'm playing in the late only slate, this will kind of be the game where I have a lot of exposure to the bats all around in this game. I think Yonder Alonso is really interesting. I think Seager's interesting. And all these A's are really cheap. Chris Davis, 3,600. He hit a home run tonight, and he, when he gets hot, he can hit them in bunches. So I think he's interesting. I don't think this will be any of my, main slate stacks just because it's, another colder type game. But as far as the late slate goes, I think this is my favorite game for bats.
Okay, go ahead, Fuego.
Yeah, I always like playing Seattle just because of the late. They're always on the late slate. And recently I've been playing some of the Oakland guys because, as Matt said, they're cheap and they haven't been priced where they should be. Alonso still isn't priced up. Well, no, he's 4.3 now on DraftKings. He was, as of last week, he was still 2.9 and he's batting almost 300, So I'm definitely less likely to play him now at 4,300. It's so funny. They take forever to adjust and then boom, it's like, we messed up, so let's make up for it.
Yeah, instead of gradually over like 3 days raising his price, they did realize 2 weeks late, like, oh crap, and then they just like shoot it up.
Yeah. He went 2.9 to 3.6. He went up $700 in one day last week. I guess they realized, and then to 3.8, 4.4. Yeah. So, but I'm not in love with either team because there's just so many other options that if I might have a couple of the guys for late night one-off. But even the games, I like some of the Angels better we talked about, and I'm guessing I'm going to like some of the Dodgers a little better. So, not nobody really.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm not confident in either pitcher. Seattle doesn't strike out enough for me, and there's too many lefties, powerful lefties in this lineup for Triggs. I'm not playing Chase DeJong, that's for sure. So I got a little bit of interest in the A's, but again, like you guys both nailed it. There's just so many other good spots. It's tough to want to go here. But certainly I wouldn't get mad at anybody for playing the offenses in either side of here. You got, powerful. Seattle's offense pretty powerful despite a low run projection, and Oakland did good today. So Yonder Alonso, Matt, I think that was a very interesting call for sure. He's been hot. So, we got last game here. We got Rich Hill of Matt's Los Angeles Dodgers visiting Ty Blatch of the San Francisco Giants. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I think it's easy for me in this game. I just am not going to do anything. I don't want anybody or anything from this game. Rich Hill's pitching his first game in a while, and he has blister problems all the time, and they're never going to let him throw more than 85 pitches here, so he has zero upside, and the Giants don't strike out a lot. And then, we know the Dodgers struggles against lefties. Even though Block is not good, he has the ballpark protecting him, and since the Dodgers aren't good against lefties anyways, I don't think I want to stack the Dodgers, and I'm certainly not playing Block because he's not good. So I just think nothing in this game for me.
Okay, I'm with you. Go ahead, Fuego.
Yeah, I agree. Block isn't that good, but the Dodgers have really bad WOBA differences and ISO differences against lefties. So, I don't think I guess I'd be more apt to go with the pitchers just because, and they're in San Francisco, the ballpark. But neither guys on the Dodgers or San Francisco are standing out to me. Even less so, San Francisco. Have you guys played the guys on San Francisco this year?
Not since the first week of the year.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I don't see. Yeah, I don't see any reason to start now.
Yeah. I think, Matt, you hit it right on the head, man. I went nothing from this game. You just went nothing. Rich Hill is normally pretty good. The Giants don't strike out anyway, even if he was going to get the pitch count you needed. The Giants don't strike out all that much. Dodgers are terrible against lefties, and Ty Blatch is just too bad for me to want to play. So, I don't really want anything from this game either.
So Matt,
go ahead.
Matt, you wouldn't go to Rich Hill on DraftKings?
No, he's never going past 85 pitches, and the Dodgers don't, and the Giants don't strike out. So It's just like, if I can play JC Ramirez, who I think has big upside, or, Rodriguez, I think, who has big upside, I don't see any reason to do it.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right, here's a question, guys. So, of the top 4 guys, which are Strasburg, Keuchel, Darvish, Greinke, who's your number 1, and then who's your number 2?
For me, it goes like straight in line with price on DraftKings. I like Dallas the best. I like Strasburg, then Greinke. And I know it's easy to just say, well, I'll just take it in order of price, but it's not. Those aren't the reasons why. That's how it falls for me.
Okay. Well, what about you, Fuego?
Well, the Darvish and Strasburg are flipped on FanDuel, so maybe I like Keuchel, Darvish, Strasburg, Greinke.
Yeah.
I don't. I think I like Strasburg the best, maybe, and then Keuchel. But it's tough. It's close, especially on FanDuel. I think if you are making lineups and you like certain batters and you got them in, and any of these pitchers fit, and you're rolling out 5, 10, 100 lineups, mix them up. It's a great day to mix them up because not one of them stands out that, oh my gosh, you got to get him in over another person. And I also think being contrarian, especially on FanDuel, is to play some of these guys not in this tier. I'm not sure which ones yet, but maybe you could play Ramirez. He's only 7.2 on FanDuel. You could play him and load up on bats, and I think that'll be a contrarian play.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that we see it too many times. Anytime there's more than 1 or 2 people on the elite tier option of price, these under, the lower price pitchers on DraftKings is not so much, obviously, because you have to pick 2. So they usually try to find one cheap guy, one expensive. But on FanDuel, Fuego, like you said, nobody plays them. You're going to find Ramirez at low ownership. Why? Because people would much rather run to Darvish, Strasburg, and Keuchel. And I don't blame them because, in cash games, I think it's going to be – I'm going with – in cash games, you want to pay up for pitchers. So it's going to be one of those guys for me. Greinke's the odd man out. He's the only one that doesn't really fit the cash game mold just because of the ballpark and, that he's going against a lot of powerful lefties. But all those other guys, man, they're Darvish at home, Keuchel in Miami, and Strauss in Pittsburgh. Those are going to be your 3 your cash game options right there. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be definitely interesting for sure.
Play Dallas in cash. He's just so safe. He's been so good. 64% ground ball rate, 21% hard hit against. 181 batting average against. I mean, he's just been really good.
Yeah, he's definitely the one that I'm leaning to. He's the most expensive on FanDuel. He's the one I'm leaning to though for cash for sure. But I think, hey man, Ramirez on FanDuel would be a great tournament play, and even Greinke I think would be an interesting tournament play.
I might argue Greinke for cash if you look at his game logs.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I mean, he struck out 11, 7, 9, 11 past 4.
Right. My issue with Greinke and cash, like while he's got more strikeout upside potentially matchup wise. He's got more strikeout upside than both of them. It's just because the Mets do strike out. It's just the ballpark, man. Like a couple good swings, and there's a lot of lefties. So a couple good. Yeah. He doesn't seem as safe. That's all. Like to me, Strasburg and Pittsburgh against the Pirates seems safer. Keuchel in Miami against, like, don't get me wrong, I like Greinke better as a he's got higher upside to me. To me, Greinke has the upside here. It's just in cash, I want upside, but I also want a little bit of floor. And if Greinke happens to get rocked, which we've seen last year, we did see him get rocked a couple times last year. It's not going to be pretty.
Hey, last year's in the past, man. This is daily, brother.
No. I'm with you 100%. All I'm saying is I just don't think.
How many games under 40 do you think he's had this year on FanDuel?
Oh, no, I know. He's been phenomenal. I'm not arguing with you. He's been phenomenal.
Right. So how is that not a safe cash game? I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
No. I'm with you. It's because you have to look at the blown potential. Like what are the chances? Who has a better chance of hitting, say, 3 or 4 home runs in a game, right? The Pirates against Strasburg, the Miami against Keuchel, or the Mets against Greinke? in Arizona. You see what I'm saying? So to me, it's just more like there's the potential for a blow up. It seems for me it's greater with Greinke than it is with Strasburg. He's also got more ceiling. Don't get me wrong. He's also got more ceiling. But in cash games, I'm looking to get a solidified amount of points and move on and hopefully get some hitters that do the rest of the job. But Fuego, I'm with you, man. I think Greinke has the highest ceiling in my opinion. He does. It's just his floor is also, to me, lower than that of
I think his floor is higher than you think it is. That's all.
No, I got you.
Maybe this is why I'm not good at cash.
I'm with you, man. Well, we'll find out, man. That could be the case. Both these guys could get bombed. I just think Keuchel and Strauss are both a little safer. That's all. But I'm with you, man. You make a great point for sure. He's been solid this year. He's been phenomenal. He's been the Greinke that everybody was expecting. Is there anything you guys wanted to add on the slate, or should we just play Dong Watch?
It's a fun slate. There's lots of good options to choose from.
For sure. Fuego, anything to add?
Nope.
All right, guys. Let's play some Dong Watch here. Let's see. So let's give Fuego the first pick today. Oh, Fuego, you want the first pick or do you want to defer? We'll give you the option.
That's fine. I'll say the guy I said I was going to say before, Nomar Mazara.
There you go. Sticking to the guns. I like it. All right, go ahead, Matt.
I'm going 5 in a row for Mike Trout.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, I should have stolen from you. Damn.
Yeah, he definitely should have.
I had the opportunity.
He definitely should have too. Absolutely. I'm going to go with JD Martinez. I think that's one thing I forgot to mention when we were covering that game. He makes a big difference being back. JD Martinez is probably their best hitter. He makes a huge difference. And I get one more. I'm going to go with give me Ian Kinsler. I like that game. I really do like that Tigers game. I just don't like Miley. I think that's really what it is, man. All right, man, go ahead.
I will take Bryce Harper because he's good and Cool's bad against lefties.
Yeah, that's true. Can't argue with that. All right, Fuego, you get 2 here.
I will go. Let's hedge a little. I'll say Cabrera. I'll take another Detroit guy.
Here we go.
And how about Goldie?
I'm with you.
That was my next pick. I was just going to go straight 3 highest priced players. I will go with Aaron Judge.
Ooh, yeah. That guy has been a freaking monster.
He hits the ball hard and far.
I didn't realize. I knew he was big, but I didn't realize. And I was watching the Yankee game yesterday, and he was standing on third base next to the third base coach.
Yeah.
It was, whoa, he is huge.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
He's a monster. He's just like a physical, like LeBron James in basketball.
780 or something.
Yeah, man. It's like there's some people who are just genetic freaks, and he's one of them. It's just, for my last pick, I'm going to go with Charlie Blackmon. I'm going to get a little funky here and take one of them Rockies there. Hey, guys.
He's one of the guys I was going to say plays well on the road.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Hey, guys, I appreciate you guys. It's always a blast having both of you on together, man. It's always a lot of fun. We get to do that. Definitely had a blast talking these games, and hopefully we helped out the listeners. You can get your brain rolling. Again, guys, if you want to update, contact Fuego on Twitter at Fuego_Steve. Contact Matt at Matt Amon123. Contact me on Twitter as well. You see it on the screen here at CK_013. So contact us a little closer to lock, and we can kind of give you an idea of what we found or what we went through. Anyway, guys, for Matt, for Fuego, and myself, we really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on Podbean, give us a follow. If you're listening on iTunes, subscribe. And, of course, rate us some awesome reviews. Bump us up those charts. We really appreciate it, guys. Anyway, again, for Fuego, for Matt, for myself, as always, good luck.
Yeah.